It's Babylon AD right here with The Kid Goes Wild, featuring a little guest appearance from the greatest comedian that ever lived, Sam Kinison. What a great loss that was.
Yeah. Now we got all these fucking fruities that are on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't think that I've heard an edgy comedian since Sam Kinison.
I don't know. You don't think Norton back in when he was first rising?
Norton's funny and he does say a lot of shocking stuff.
Yeah.
But the way that Kinison presented it was more just edgy. You know, Norton says a lot of funny stuff that's kind of like, you know, really wrong. Mm-hmm. But the way that Kinison talked about it, it was like a life experience for him.
Sure. Dude, when Landau comes your way, you got to go.
Okay.
I'll make the connection and get you on the list, so to speak, you and Sal or whoever. And you guys can go and see Landau. He's fucking hysterical.
Okay.
Dude. And he's edgy. He's definitely.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his stand-up on video or anything, so I don't know what his stand-up is like, but it wasn't just the material and the delivery, it was the whole persona.
Right.
Because
sure.
Sam kind of lived it, you know, or at least his persona, you know, the way that he carried on, you know, he was the rock and roll comedian.
Right. Demon hit a good one. What about Doug Stanhope?
Doug Stanhope is really good. I liked Stanhope, but his material is really strong. But what I was just getting into, and I love Stanhope because I've got several of his stand-ups.
Right.
But Sam kind of walked the talk.
Okay.
I think that's what I liked about him, is because, you know, not only did he say his outrageous stuff, but it looked like he was kind of like the Lemmy of comedians.
Sure.
He lived that life as well as talked about it.
Yeah. The only one I can think of after him that did that was Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah, Patrice was really funny.
Patrice was really funny, but he also lived that way. That was just who he was.
Yeah.
You know, he's the only one I could think of like that. And he was funny, but not as edgy as Sam. No way.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe we're just desensitized a little bit to it because, you know, I mean, when Sam came out, Sam and Dice, I put them in the same boat at the same time. You know, there was nothing like that. I mean, it had been a while since Pryor, and Carlin wasn't really that way.
Yeah,
Carlin was a little more intellectual.
Yeah, well, Carlin was definitely intellectual. I mean, but see, the thing is, the difference between Sam and, say, Dice. Dice was shticky.
Yeah.
You know, with the leather jacket and the cigarette, and he had to go through these little antics and stuff. Sam didn't do that.
No, Sam just came out and just said whatever he was thinking.
Yeah, so he didn't have this little antics, and he didn't have like a prop, and, you know,
right.
because with Dice was his leather jacket and flipping up the collar and smoking a cigarette around the side of his head, and,
right.
You know, that kind of a thing. You know, he was funny. I mean, and he sold out arenas and stuff, and he, you know, he had it. But the thing is he had his nursery rhymes, which was kind of sticky in a way. You know, the whole hickory dickory dock. You know, the bitch was sucking my cock. You know, Sam didn't do that.
Right. Now, what? And I know this is older, but did you think Pryor was one of those guys?
Pryor was very edgy, and I guess some of the stories he told, they were more cerebral stories. They weren't outrageous. You know what I mean? Like just over the top, crazy.
Right.
I can't even explain Sam. Sam was like an enigma. He. The way that he delivered and the way that he lived was like one and the same.
Right. Sure. No, I don't disagree. I'm just throwing names out there, but there's been nobody since like Kinison. Not really. I mean, I like a lot of comics, but
well, I know what it was about Sam, and I think this kind of relates to you and I in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Sam was off the cuff.
Oh yeah,
he didn't have. Obviously, he had material per se,
right?
But he would ad lib a lot of the time too, and the reason why I say that is because he was often a guest on Howard Stern.
Sure.
And Howard would ask him questions, and he wouldn't hesitate to answer the questions. He would just blurt out whatever he was thinking.
Sure.
So he didn't he didn't think out his answers and stuff. He would just blurt it out.
Right.
And whenever you saw Sam, he lived, and again, I'm not condoning the lifestyle, but he was a drugging, boozing, crazy, live life to the fullest. He was a nut.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so I'm going to get it all in today.
Yeah, I'm going to party until I drop.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, I think Sam was definitely a wild man. And there's definitely nobody like him now. But I mean, there's good comics. I don't think anybody's that good. I'm really believing that Landau is one of the funniest I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, one of the guys, and unfortunately he's only got one stand-up special, but that Chris Porter.
He's funny.
That guy was funny. I mean, he's not outrageous or over the top or anything, but the way he tells his stories are pretty damn funny.
Sure. I saw Bobby Slayton not long ago. He was pretty funny.
Yeah, the Bulldog.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. I love stand-up comedy. I've been to a lot of shows. I'm happy to say that I was at the last HBO show for Sam Kinison for at the Wiltern Theater just a year before he died.
Right.
So yeah. I'll never forget that as long as I live, because that was quite an experience.
Sure, dude. That's historic shit.
Yep. What a sad day.
Hell yeah.
And it's really weird, how people always say about the Kennedy assassination. If you're still living, that everybody remembers where they were when they heard about it.
Or 9/11 for
that too. And I can tell you the story about both. But I can tell you exactly where I was when I heard about Sam Kinison getting killed.
Where?
I was on the New York Thruway. I was right between Rochester and Buffalo, and I was heading west on the New York Thruway, and I was listening to Rock 103 in Buffalo. Okay. And it was about like 4:30 in the afternoon, and a DJ came on, and he says, I just heard that comedian Sam Kinison was killed in a car accident out near Needles, California.
Right.
And he said, in tribute to Sam Kinison, I'm going to play some Billy Squier, Lonely as the Night. And that's what he played. And it was like that happened yesterday.
Right. Yeah, I remember when he died, I heard it on Stern. They opened with talking about Sam dying.
Yeah.
And talked pretty much the whole show about Sam. And it was just like, oh, boy, that sucks. He was such an... I always thought... I thought he was one of the most important non-regulars on Stern.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know some will disagree with me on this, but you know who I always thought was lousy on Stern? Fucking Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, well, Gilbert Gottfried is shticky as well.
I hated him.
Yeah. I mean, I liked some of his stuff that he did, but he's a character. He's not real. He's a persona.
Yeah.
And any guy who pigeonholes himself into being a character, their shelf life is short.
Yeah. I couldn't stand him on Stern. Anytime he would come in to do the news, which was a lot, that was me turning the radio off.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to listen to him doing Dracula or whatever. It's like, fuck this out. He stinks. And even now, like, if I'm listening to old Stern bits, which I do quite a bit, if something comes on with Gilbert, I dump right out of it. I don't want to hear it. He stinks.
Yeah. Well, again, anybody who made their career out of being a character, I've got very little interest in them. Their first thing out the gate, probably funny, but then it it has a shelf life. It wears thin.
Then it's a bad shell of itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Him with his screwed up face. Is there something in this hand that'll make you forget what's in this other hand? It's like, okay, Gilbert, that's enough.
Yeah, exactly. Go away.
Yeah.
Go retire to the Friars Club where I don't have to hear you.
Right. Even with Jerry Seinfeld, even though the guy was a billionaire and he made it really big with Seinfeld and of course working in conjunction with Larry David.
Sure.
I mean, those two guys made bank, and it was just it was just amazing that the amount of popularity that they had with the Seinfeld show, and both of them making God knows how much money.
Right.
He was shticky. Even with his classic line is what's with this? It was this his whole delivery.
Right.
Have you seen these guys? The whole thing.
Right. Sure.
To be honest with you, I mean, there's been a couple of things that Seinfeld has said that I thought was kind of funny, but I never got the whole Seinfeld thing.
I love the show.
No, the show was fine. Him as a stand-up,
I don't think I ever saw him do stand-up.
Oh, yeah.
There's some of those guys people say are just hysterical I've never seen, like Jay Leno. I've never seen Jay Leno do stand-up.
You know who everybody who praised this guy, and I never found him funny, not even for a second?
Who?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, I never dug him either.
I never thought he was funny at all.
Not in movies, not on stand-up.
No.
Neither. Yeah, I hated his shtick in movies.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Oh, he's a genius. It's like, I don't know, man. I just don't relate to anything that guy said.
I liked him in Mork and Mindy. A little bit, because I was 6.
Nanu.
Yeah, I was 6 years old or whatever when that show came out. I like that. But, all of his movies, fucking Mrs. Doubtfire and all. Ugh, shut up.
Yeah.
He come in making the fucking voice or whatever. I just want to punch him in his fucking face.
But his stand-up, just... I've watched a couple of his stand-ups, and it's just like, dude, I don't get it.
He was just annoying. You just wanted to choke him.
Yeah.
And he did it for you.
I don't know.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, we got an email from our good friend Chris Wicks.
Okay.
He was commenting on the Vinnie Vincent.
Okay.
He said the Vinnie Vincent box set drama.
Yes.
He says, I still have my money order receipt for the box set from over 20 years ago. Actually, I picked up the flyer order form for the box set at the Akron Roller Rink Kiss Expo with Mark St. John that we were at. Still hoping it comes to Cleveland so we can have a talk. Ha, ha, ha. I contacted Derek Christopher when he pulled Vinnie Vincent out of hiding for Atlanta and told him I was one that got fucked.
Right.
I told Derek, you will go down in history as the guy that brought Vinnie Vincent back and got him killed. I cannot believe no one has killed him or beat the shit out of him yet. I was informed that I was on the banned list for the Atlanta and possibly other future Vinnie Vincent events due to my conversation with Derek and past letters to Vinnie Vincent in early 2000s when the fucking was taking place. You should see the bullshit letters, etc. he sent me.
Right. Well, send them.
So
Come on, Chris, send them on.
Yeah, let's see the bullshit letters.
Take some pictures and send them over. I'd like to read them. Boy, the chat room hit it dead on, too. Another one that just sucked ass as a comedian. Joan Rivers.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the funny and interesting thing about Joan Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing Joan, and this was after she became somebody that you would recognize.
Okay.
You got to realize Joan Rivers was like a extra, or like a guest, not even a guest, but like an extra on the Lucy show from back in the 60s.
Okay.
You know, she had made some cameos on the Lucy show, which just goes to show you how old she was.
Yeah, she was old.
She was old. I mean, she was a comedian in the 60s.
Right.
So to make her relevant in, modern times per se, I mean, obviously she was the first woman to have a late night talk show against Johnny Carson.
Right.
That in my mind would be her biggest claim to fame, aside from outing the Obamas for being trans before her untimely death mysteriously.
Yeah, how about that?
Any thoughts on that, Chris? In reality, though, do you think her death was just a accidental medical thing gone wrong, or do you think because her comment about the Obamas being trans had anything to do with it?
I don't know. I mean, could it be that? Sure.
No, I'm asking your opinion. I'm not saying could it, would it, should it. I'm just asking your opinion.
To be honest, my opinion is I'm glad the dead horse got put down. Quite honestly. I don't care if the Obamas did it or God did it.
Well, I'm not even asking that. I'm asking your thoughts. What is your thoughts? Do you think that they were related or not?
I'm going to say no, because I've never cared enough to look.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Honestly, Joan, when they said she was dead, I was just like, good. One less bore to hear. I had no emotional attachment to it, and certainly not enough to actually read stories that could have been this or that. I did not like Joan Rivers at all.
Okay.
Another one, as soon as she would show up on Stern, I was out.
All right.
I did. Dude, I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's ever been a female comic that's been funny. Not one.
Yeah, we always say that here on the show. It's just like, ladies, leave the funny to us.
Yeah, I mean, can you name one?
Funny?
Sarah Silverman? No.
No.
Amy Schumer? No.
No.
That chick that did the rape comedy, whatever her name is, on Netflix? No. Whatever her name is.
The only one that I would say, as far as a derogatory female comic is concerned, is, I gotta look her name up real quick.
It was Lucy a comic or just an actress?
She was an actress. I mean, she was a comedian, but more of a she was a comedian, but she was more of an actress.
All right.
No, she's not funny at all.
That's what I'm saying. There's none.
Well, the only one that I think kind of is funny or has some funny things to say.
Yeah.
She's Asian. Ali Wong.
Don't know her.
She has
Carol Burnett. LaWanda Page. Aunt Esther. Holy smokes. What's her name? Ali Wong?
ALIWONG.
Oh, I'll have to look her up.
She's got a couple of Netflix stand-ups. And she talks about anal sex and all kinds of stuff like that, which is kind of funny.
Oh, I'm into that.
And she's just like, the reason why chicks are so worried about having anal sex is because getting shit on the guy's dick.
That's funny.
It is funny.
All right, chat room. You guys are getting out of control here. Ruth Buzzy.
What is this, laughing?
Judy Tenuta.
Oh, she wasn't very good. A delicate little flower.
Lisa Lampanelli.
No, she's the black. She likes the black dudes. She likes the brothers.
What does that have to do with being funny?
Because her whole shtick is around being a white chick liking black dick.
Oh, is that her? That's her thing?
That's her shtick. She lost a lot of weight for one thing.
Okay.
But before she was kind of a heavy set woman. Mm-hmm. And she would always talk about taking the dick from the brothers. But that wore thin after a while.
Right. Kathy Griffin?
Nah, she's terrible.
She's terrible. Roseanne?
I
never found her stand-up to be funny. I found her show to be great.
Yeah, her early stand-up, she had a stand-up special on HBO back in 80, I want to say it was like 88 or 89. Mm-hmm. And it was actually kind of funny. But it wasn't like drop dead, like ha ha ha, great. But she did say a couple of funny things in that. That was okay.
Rosie O'Donnell back in the day?
No, she's terrible.
Was she ever funny?
No, she was never funny. She sucks the life of everything she's in.
Didn't she used to host like Comedy Tonight or some shit?
It was a Spotlight special.
Yeah.
She used to, the beginning of it where she had like 2 flashlights. And she was waving them around like she was putting the spotlight on somebody. It was recorded at the Ice House in L.A.
Okay.
It was called Spotlight Comedy is what it was called.
Right.
Look at my memory kicking in.
You know all this shit.
Yeah. I'm a big comedy fan, dude. I love comedy. I mean, if you're funny, I'll remember you. But if you suck, man.
Yeah, you'll forget them fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's... I can't say that there's one long-term funny female comedian. None. Janine Garofalo? No. Janine Garofalo?
No, she's a hardcore lefty, and she's just a bitter, hateful chick.
Who was I watching that said that she's secretly hot because she looks like a lesbian, but she's not?
Well, she's not a lesbian, but... years ago, and I'm talking like 25 to 30 years ago, she was actually kind of cute. Yeah. But now she's like all tatted up, and she wears like the horn rim glasses, and she looks like I don't know. She's just got that whole. I don't even know what that if chicks could be hipsters, she's got that whole hipster look now.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I always sort of thought she was okay.
Yeah, she was cute. I thought, I've seen a stand-up or two of hers, and then she was in that goofy chick movie, Romy and Michelle's class reunion or whatever, and she was kind of like a real, like she was an outsider chick, and every time anybody ever said hi to her or something, she'd go, fuck off!
Yeah. I liked her in The Sopranos, too.
Yeah, I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, she was that one. What do you say, boudoir or what?
Something like that.
What does that mean? How can I use that? And when Christopher walked up the next day or whatever, and she's like, "You got any more words I can say?" She was pretty funny in that. In Sopranos. Yeah, I don't mind her so much. There was like an offshoot of the show Criminal Minds that lasted 1 year. It was her and Forrest Whitaker. But she was actually pretty good in that. But, of course, it got dumped after 1 year.
Yeah. Stand-up comedian chicks, not so good.
No, not at all. I agree.
Yeah, it's... Boy, I'll tell you, I love to go to stand-up shows, or I've been to quite a few, but, boy, it's tough to find a real good one.
I've thankfully never seen a female stand-up.
I would love to go see Doug Stanhope. I've kept an eye out to see if he's playing anywhere near me, but he never plays anywhere near me.
I want to go see more comedy. I just never think of it. I always forget that it's there. It's one of those things. You always forget that it's there. It's not like a concert where you make a plan. Comedy clubs, because if you miss this guy, you just catch the next guy next week. There's always somebody. So. Like Don Jameson. No, Don Jameson, not funny.